Girl, get in here, get in here, get in here. It's season 3 with Akilah and Zakkiya. Get in here, y'all, and welcome back to season 3, all about dating. And in this episode, because I know we had to do a couple hiatuses because the last 2 episodes were like not expected, but needed to be talked about. So in this episode, we actually want to pick back up to Akilah sharing her story about the man that she met on a random little vacation or a little weekend getaway that you did not want to go to. You ended up meeting a man who approached you, spoke about your aura, and y'all had wonderful conversation. Let's pick back up where we are. You have to now come back to your home. He lives where you were visiting, right?
Right.
So go ahead, girl. Tell us what's happening.
Hold on. Okay, so yes, remember I had met this guy at this event that I was going to that I didn't want to be at, and it was an unexpected, nice surprise, right? Like I had seen him, knew he was going to get my number. He walked up to me because remember, I was trying to tell y'all, like, why is it that guys don't want to approach women anymore? So everything happened
They don't.
like I had wished it would. Right. They don't. Everything happened like I wished it would. And I was still on a high from that. Right. So like even the next day, I don't know if I told y'all, but the next day after I met him, I was still in his city and I was going to brunch with my girls. And I had invited him to go, right? Because I was like, I don't want the weekend to end so soon, right? So he came out to brunch with us, and one of my homegirls who is married, her husband was also there. So he wasn't the only guy, right? But it was also my turn to see him in his element, right? How can you were okay talking to me by myself and carrying on a conversation and everything was going great, but how are you at a table full of people? Like can you mix in with the conversation, because that's important too.
It is.
But he did well. He did good. So I was still on cloud 9, I think, from just having things go my way. And then right, I had to go back to my hometown, which is 3 hours away. He got to stay where he was at. And I remember like getting in the car with my girls because we were all leaving at the same time, and so everybody's like, it was like a big silence, right? And then they're like, okay, so do you like him? Like, how...
Right. Give us the details. The way we're waiting for these details. Yes.
Right. And I was like, I do. I like him. And so got back to my city, immediately started talking to him on the phone. Everything's going great. We're having great conversation. And I'm talking about like heavy, like in the morning, we're FaceTiming, and during the day, he's texting me. In the evenings, we're FaceTiming. Like we had a whole routine going on because when you have a long distance relationship, you have to figure out what works for you. And, each morning he got up and he would go to a nearby track and run around the track. And then he would FaceTime me when he was doing his walk. And so we just had a schedule, like a really good routine of how we were going to get to know each other. And I really enjoy, getting to know someone long distance and through the phone first, because it's almost like you have to be able to communicate. You have to be able to, tell your story, tell, where you are in life right now, and do that to someone who you want to invite into your life. So everything was going great. Honey, we was so in sync, right? Like we were watching shows together.
You had a whole boyfriend. You came home
We had
from a weekend getaway. I called you, and how was it? He was like, Boo, I met me a man. And then I would try to call you because Keela and I FaceTime fairly regularly, like maybe
All
like
the
two,
time.
3 times a week at least, right? And so I would
And
be
I
like,
have to
FaceTime,
FaceTime you because I have to see your facial expression when I tell
right?
you things.
Because that's part of the storytelling piece of like, girl, you, because you know. But I remember I FaceTimed you and you sent me the voicemail and then followed that up with a text message like, hey, I'm talking to my boo. I'll call you back. And I was like, damn, a little bit jelly, but okay, enjoy.
I mean, it was going so great. It was on and popping. I had a whole boyfriend within matter of days. It was that lovely and nice. And that's what I miss about, dating, just getting to know someone and just sharing my story and my life with them and just seeing if we're kind of in sync. So we
You know,
got
it's
back
really,
talking every day. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know, it's really interesting. So I've been seeing this trend on TikTok where, and it's
Hmm.
especially men being like, if we go out on a date, if we have good phone conversation, we go together. And I don't know, and that's kind of like how I feel too, where I'm like,
We do
if
the
we're
same thing
if
though.
we're getting along, but I don't feel like men used to feel that way. So I don't know if it's because we're dating men of a particular age where they're like, what are we waiting for? Why are we pretending like this talking stage? What does that mean anymore? At this grown age, I
Yeah.
like you. Like we go together. So it's just funny because that's very
Yes.
much how I felt after you told me about this guy. I was like, oh damn, she got a whole ass boyfriend.
I did.
Okay,
I
so you
did. And
guys
I was
are
just so
go ahead because you guys are continuing to talk. You guys get along. You're streaming shows together.
streaming shows together.
I
Like
think
we're
that's
watching them
cute.
together, like
Hmm.
seeing how our facial expressions react to certain, situations. It was really cute. And so, I mean, now this goes on for a few months, right? Like we're steady going on for a few months. And then I had the opportunity to go back to his city for work, right? So, of course, I'm going to see my boyfriend. Um, so we were so, excited about seeing each other once again. We just anticipated it. And, I had asked him, I was like, hey, I'm going to be there for 2 days or 2 nights. Maybe on the second night, you can plan something like, because I'm coming to your city, take me out. How are things on your side of the town? Like, I want to see your life and everything. And so he was like that, everything will be good. So I went and I remember the first night I saw him again and sparks flew just like they did the first time I saw him. So, we really built up a longing for one another. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
was, we
It
saw
was
each other and was
several months.
like, oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah, it was right. It was several months. So there was like this anticipation. How am I going to act? And I remember
Were you
um,
nervous
the first,
to see him
I was
again?
so nervous, y'all. I was so nervous.
That's how you know it's
I
special,
know.
though, and it's cute when you
I'm
get
nervous
nervous.
telling the
Yeah.
story right now. Like, I was
Oh,
so
don't be.
nervous
These
to
are our
see him again.
people.
Right. Oh no, I know. But I was nervous. I got there and the first night I was going out to dinner with my coworker. So I told him, it's going to be a late night, you know, but you can, come to my hotel because there's a rooftop bar. We can have a nice nightcap. And so he came, we saw each other, and immediately we were just all over each other. Like, baby, it was,
Like
it
boyfriend
was
and
on and
girlfriend for the
popping.
last 3 months. Yeah.
It was on and popping. We seen each other and we just held each other, embraced each other, and we just never let go. It was just I I I invited him back to my room. I did because I wanted to, I ain't one of them. I'm going
You wanted
to
to
move
sleep
some
with your
furniture.
boyfriend. And
I
again,
wanted,
but y'all had put in 3 months of like
yeah, we did. We
daily
did.
conversation. So it wasn't like you met this
Right.
man. never talked to this man, saw him 3 months later, invited him back to your room. You all had built a rapport, you had built a
Right.
relationship with this man. So it wasn't like, so I'm just saying, like, yes.
I felt like, yeah, I felt like I knew him. I felt like, I was comfortable. I was
Hmm.
comfortable. I felt safe. I felt like, okay, we can go the extra mile and, have sex. Like I don't have, any or I didn't have any hesitation with that. Like we knew what it was. We knew what it was on site, okay?
Right. Mhm. On site,
so
I'm jumping your
so
bone.
on
Yeah.
site we had such a great evening. And even the second night, okay, well, the second night is kind of where the story starts. The second
Okay,
night,
okay, what's going
because
on the second night?
remember I told him that, once I got there to have something planned for us, right? Like I got
This
off
is your
work
city.
5 o'clock.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got off work 5 o'clock, you know, let's do something. Let's go out. And so that second night, he didn't end up coming to the hotel that I was staying at until like 10 o'clock. And so I was like, check. you know,
Right.
you didn't even ask if I was hungry or nothing. You didn't even
Right.
figure out if I ate dinner tonight or nothing. Like it was, and I remember like we were like just texting and he was like, oh, okay, I'm on my way. And just hours went by. So I was like, okay, fine.
Oh, wait, no, he
And
said
then
he was on his way and then did not show up?
and then didn't show up until 10 o'clock. And so
Mm.
I was like, okay. I mean, I literally took a nap and everything. I went to sleep. So it was nothing. But I also, oh, so let me back up because the night before, when he did stay, um, when he did come back to my room the first night, he ended up leaving at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And he did that on the second night too, which was weird to me because, again, you knew I was coming for damn near 3 weeks now,
Right.
and you knew that we wanted to spend time together. Like, why? I didn't understand what he left for. And he ended up saying like he wasn't comfortable. He was like tossing and turning. He couldn't get comfortable and he just wanted to be in, his own bed. And so I said, all right, that was
Weird, but okay. Okay, I
noted.
get right, right,
Noted. But
right.
again, I'm still on cloud nine, y'all. I'm still like, this my man. He's honey loving me down and baby in all the right ways, right?
Aye,
So
okay. Ooh, it's
I am I
spicy.
have
Uh-huh.
I have no problems. I'm like,
Okay.
boy, if you want to get
Clearly.
up at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I don't care. Do what
Clearly,
you
he
came to
has more
do.
stamina and energy because most people have been, like, out for the count, but okay.
Right. And so that was just one of the kind of weird things that kind of started my, I don't know, observations of, things that make
Mhm.
you go, right? And so that whole weekend ended and get back. We're still, I didn't let it, get to me or anything. I didn't feel like that was a deal breaker.
Sure.
Because when I asked, he explained, and that was his answer. Okay,
Right.
that's your answer.
Right.
um, so we get back and we're still going strong, still having a good time. And then here's
Wait,
here's
hold
where
on.
it
No,
started
stop,
to get
hold
a
on.
little what?
No, wait, we're gonna go back. So, the second night, he shows up late, did not make a
Right.
plan, but it was okay because he had you feeling good the previous night, so you ain't bother. You
Hmm,
let him have his
hmm,
way with you, I'm assuming, the second night, and then
hmm.
he left again at, like, 3 o'clock in the morning, didn't spend the night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, which
Yes.
is weird. I think
Now, I mean, right. It's weird because I think to any of us, we would be like, you got a family to go home to? Like, where are you going?
and you don't
And
wanna
I
wake up in the
purposely
morning and have
knew,
morning sex? Like, I'm confused, like,
and I
I'm
purposely
leaving.
knew that his office was like closer than his house, right? So, like, you could have easily brung a bag and got to work in 10 minutes
Right.
rather than 30 minutes, coming from your
Right.
house. So
Right.
it was also weird in the sense of convenience, right? We all love convenience. So I was just like, that didn't make sense. But I'm not asking no questions because I just got loved down, baby. So I don't care.
Laid out. Had a good time.
Honey,
Peace, brother. If you want to
he
leave,
may
I'm just going to spread out.
he may have left at 3 o'clock, but baby, I was knocked out. I was
You was
dead to
like,
the world. Okay.
right, got it. I ain't mad at you. I ain't
so
mad at you at all. But okay, gave
okay.
you reasons for pause. Okay. Now you go
Yes.
back home. Tell us what happens then.
So get back home. Again, everything is still the same, talking every day, having a great conversation, still getting to know one another. Um,
I think he knows plenty of you by now, but okay.
oh, he know every inch of me, baby. And so here's where it started to get a little tricky for me because now we live 3 hours apart, right? And so now
Hmm.
this is the second time we're seeing each other, and both times I have come to you. So I remember even before I went back to him to see him in his city, I had asked him to come to see me.
Hmm.
And he said he was going to, right? It's only 3 hours away because 3 hours, we're not a flight away, right? Like
Right.
three
It's a
hours
car.
is a
It's a car
drive,
ride. Yeah.
it's a car ride.
An
And,
easy road
but
trip.
I don't like driving. I know, but I don't like driving. I
But
just,
you had
I
already
don't
been
like
there twice.
driving.
So it feels only
I know.
right
Okay,
for
so
him to make the drive, right?
correct. So I had asked him to come previously and he said he was going to, but then at like the last minute, he said something came up and he wasn't going to be able to. No problem. So then I go back to his city, see him, come back home. And then we were coming up on like a holiday weekend, right? So we both work in corporate America, sir. I know you off on Monday. I know
Right.
you are.
Right.
And we've been talking all week. So I know you don't have no firm plans for the weekend, for the 3 day weekend. So I got a little spontaneous. And at the last minute, like on that Thursday or something, I was like, hey, why don't you come see me this weekend? We don't have to go to work on Monday. What's up? And so now, mind you, we're texting, right? When I say this, we're
Mhm.
texting. And so we've been texting like all day back and forth. You can see the little bubbles come up, the little three dots, back and forth, back and forth. And then as soon as I'm like, why don't you come see me this weekend? Honey, them bubbles did not pop up for a good,
Disappeared. Were you
a
like,
good
wait,
5 minutes.
got it? And he's like, okay. So you like, oh, Will's
I'm
spinning on his
like,
end. Okay.
oh, what's he about to come up with now? You know what I mean? And so he ended up saying he wasn't going to be able to make it again, and that's kind of when I was like,
Did he
"Hmm,
give you an
I don't
explanation
like
on
how this
why?
is going."
Did he have any explanation of
I
why he
don't
couldn't?
I don't remember his explanation as to why. Um, I know it wasn't like a good one. Again, I know you didn't have any plans. So I don't know. It wasn't a good one where I felt good about it.
I got
That's
you.
when I
Yeah.
started to kind of reconsider, like where this is going. Because if you think that this is going somewhere where I'm just always going to be coming to you, oh, we can stop this right now. Like, because
Mm.
I know me. It's just not going to happen that way. And he also was going to, even when I met him, he had previously lived in my city and he moved back to his city because his dad passed and he was there with his mom. Like, it's coming up on a year after his dad passed, and he was like, well, it's about time for me to go back to my city. And I was like, oh, so he had told me from the very beginning that he was already moving back here. And so I was like, well, I think that's why I kind of blew off the first two times that he, declined to come, because I'm like,
Okay.
oh, okay, he's moving back here. Keela, just, be patient, hold your horses, right? Like,
Right. Right.
but I also felt like, well, say that too. So he didn't say that part either.
Mm,
He didn't give me reassurance. He just didn't,
sure.
you know what I mean? Just make me feel
And
good
women need that.
about,
We need
we
reassurance. Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I
Don't be
don't always
sorry.
want to have to be the one asking, you know, what's the plan? What's the plan? I'm not gonna hit you with that, because if I do have to, if I feel like I'm getting to that point where I'm having to like hound you on the plan, I'm just gonna stop asking. There's no more
That's something
plan.
I
I
had
don't
to
need to
learn how
know.
to do too. I was the same way. I was like, you know
You
what? If I want
know?
something, I'm just gonna have to ask for it. I'm gonna have to plan for it. And in this round of dating, I was like, if you don't ask, it
Mm-mm.
won't happen. It's just not gonna, I'm not
Right.
going to put myself forward. I say that, but whatever. But yes, like make the
Yeah.
plan. I can't
That's how
always
I
be the
am.
one like coming up with like, can I see you now? Can so okay, I get it. So
No,
he
not
says he
doing it.
can't
Not
come.
doing
It's
it.
now the second time. Keep going. What happens after that?
And so, and so we come up on, so this is a month later after I asked him to, after I seen him. And then a month later, I asked him to come to my city. And then
Mhm,
I would say probably maybe 2 weeks later, we just on a regular Sunday night talking like we usually do, watching our show. And we said goodnight, probably talk to you tomorrow. I don't know if we actually said that, but probably.
the assumption
Monday
was there.
comes and
Mhm,
I don't hear from him. Tuesday comes and I don't hear from him. Wednesday comes, I don't hear from him. So it now this is not normal, right? Because we're talking every day, right?
for
So
the last 3 months.
it just
Yeah.
got to a point where he just stopped calling me. And so I remember by that Friday, you and I were talking, and you
Mhm,
asked me like, "How's your boyfriend doing?"
mhm,
And I
and you
was
very
like,
plainly said,
"Girl,
"I think we broke up," and I was like, "What? I'm confused."
I think it's
Like, you
over."
just saw him, you had a wonderful weekend with him. What happened? And you were like, "I don't
And
know,
as
he
quickly as it
just
started,
didn't call me." And I was like, "And you didn't call him?" And your answer was?
no, no, I did not. I did not. Here's the thing, like, and it's not, we didn't have a relationship where I wasn't calling him and he was doing all the calling to me. But um, I remember when I started talking to him, and this is where I know, the conversations that you and I have, are always about, how do we feel? How are we, showing up? Um,
Mhm,
but I remember when I would tell people like I had met someone, they'd be like, "Oh, girl, you glowing. What's going on?" And I would tell them, I met someone and tell them about him. But I would always end it by saying, "But he's not my forever guy." Like I remember saying
mhm,
that all the time. And again, I probably, did this to myself, or I don't know, but he just stopped calling. And I remember not reaching back out to him to call him because I knew he wasn't my forever guy. I
mm,
knew this was not going to go the distance. And so at that point, if I know that, then what am I fighting for? Or,
mm,
like if he actively chose to stop reaching out to me, then I'm okay. I'm next. You know what I mean? And I hate to say that because I feel like I sound so harsh.
I
But
mean, but it makes
if
sense if
I
you
knew,
know
if I knew it was inevitable, if I knew this was it was not going
there was going
to
to be an
be
end,
long
then
term,
go ahead and
right?
let it end.
Then let's
If
go ahead and wrap
yeah.
it up. However you want to wrap it up, sir. Like my feelings aren't hurt. I feel,
Okay.
I feel so bad. But anyway, so
I don't think that you should feel
we
bad
just
about it, but like,
we
do you
literally
have
stopped talking.
which is so crazy because it's like you broke up because y'all ghosted each other almost. Like you just stopped talking,
Pretty
right? You just
much.
stopped calling, stopped texting. At any point, because I know, like, I just know that my ego would be all up in like, did I do something? Did I say something wrong? I need to know what happened. I need to understand what happened.
Mm,
Like I know that about myself that I would have replayed that
yeah,
last conversation over and over and like what
right.
happened? And then eventually I would have called because I would have been like, nigga, where are you? And what happened?
I am the total opposite.
Clearly.
It is not my intention to figure anything out. Like I don't want to answer any questions for you. If sir, you woke up on Monday morning and you said, "I'm done with that girl," then I'm done with you too, sir. Like it's that freaking easy.
I need that I need that bone in my body that's like peace because you did a real deuces. I just did you so you had zero
But
regret. I'm assuming just
I
based on
had
your like
zero
nonchalantness of
regret.
all of it. Okay, well, that's good. I
I
mean,
did. I know, but I still had a wonderful time. I still
right.
had, this experience of dating this guy that checked many of my boxes,
Hmm.
approached me and did all the right things that, I wanted him to do as a man that was courting me. He did all those things. And so that 4-month experience it was nice and I would not trade it for the world. Do I regret it? No. Now, do I think that I got in my head a little bit later, like a week or two later afterwards? Because remember, it's now 2 weeks after. And I was just like, I started thinking, like, okay, well, did he ghost me after sex?
Mm.
Like, did I not hear from him because he got what he wanted and now there's no use for me? But again,
I don't
my
think
mind
any
doesn't go
man
to the bad place.
I don't say why I don't think that's the case is that's a man playing a really long game that just doesn't make sense to me because it was long distance to get
Right.
it one time and be like, "Okay, that's it. I'm done." Like that doesn't make sense to me. I
I got
don't
to
know the
think that
man.
too.
He ghosted us, so
Look,
we don't even I said ghosted us. Like
us, us.
so we don't
Right,
know what happened, but I really doubt that's what it was. But my mind in my head, that's what I would have thought. So that's what I loved your perspective on this when we were talking
yeah,
about it, that you were like, I mean, it is what it is, Z. I had a good time with him. I can't take that away from it.
yeah.
And I knew this was not my forever man. So why am I going to pursue something just for the sake of? Because I think my ego
Right.
would have been like, wait, I need to be the one ghosting, or I need to be the one that said this was over. Like, you just don't get to not call me one day and never call me again without an explanation,
Right,
sir. So I
right.
was proud of you to
And I
have that
think
perspective.
it may have been different had we lived closer, right? But I'm used to long distance relationships. Like after my divorce, all of my boyfriends after that, because I was dating after my divorce. I'd like jump right back into relationships because I just felt like I needed to be with
Because
somebody.
you've
And,
always been in a
before I
relationship.
started,
Mhm.
I've always been in one. And
Yeah.
so, but all of those ones after the divorce were also long distance relationships. And so they had their expiration date as well. So I'm I'm not new to this. I was
Right.
okay, like because I knew I would find somebody else. Like I'm not a hopeless romantic, but I just know love is gonna find me. I know
Mhm.
my man is gonna find me, and
You're definitely not
regardless
a hopeless
of
romantic because hopeless romantics would have not let
I'm
someone
not.
just not call and not get an explanation. Okay? Would have been like, sir, I need to know what happened. So no.
Look, Zakkiya, for all we know, this man could be in ICU right now.
Girl, this man might be 6 feet under. And that's what my mind does. My
For
mind
all we
immediately
know.
goes to, is something wrong? Did something happen? Because logically, I can't understand you ghosting me. Okay.
Oh
Y'all
my
didn't have an argument.
gosh.
There was nothing technically bad that happened. So for him just to like disappear,
No.
girl, he may no longer be with us. Not that I wish that on him, but you don't even know
I
because you
don't
ain't even tried.
know.
Oh my God, Keela, no, for real though. I
I
almost want you
know.
to reach out to him and just be like, hey, happy holidays.
I'm not. I'm
Just
not.
want to say, hey, are you alive?
No, I'm gonna be like, hey, my co-host wants to know if you're
Can you
still with
please? I
us.
just want to make sure you are still with us. That's it. That's it. No other explanation needed. You can even
Yes.
thumbs up this message and it'll be enough for her. But sir, anyway, yes,
Just drop me an
I'm
emoji.
inserting my own issues clearly here that I need to work on.
If he's watching, just drop me an emoji. Let me know. But I'd say, I'd set this whole story because, again, love is going to find me. Dating is a journey, it's trial and error, with a lot of
Mhm.
guys.
Absolutely.
And I'm ready and open for the next opportunity. Like, that's all I can say about it at this point. It was nice while it lasted. Um, but the next one is going to be even better. That's what I, cling to. So
Yeah. When I
that's
started
my
dating
story.
again, and you sticking to it, when I started dating again, this one woman goes, you're gonna have to kiss a few frogs to meet your prince. And I was like, I rebuke
Mm,
that statement. I want to find him
no,
the
it's
first
true.
time. And I have to say, I have had to
Yeah.
kiss a few frogs.
Yeah.
I don't know if my
It's
prince is
going to
here or not,
happen.
but yeah. So, first of all, Akilah, thank you for sharing your story. If you all have been with us long enough to know, you know that Keela has a hard time sharing. I'm over here basically butt naked with all of my exposure of everything I have done in my lifetime. And Keela likes to be over here moderating. Tell us more,
I'll
Zakiya,
be
and
over here laughing, child.
not sharing any of hers. So I know that took a lot for you to share the story with us. You had to be vulnerable, and I appreciate it. And I know our listeners will too,
Yeah.
especially because I think this is something every woman dating has experienced at one time or another. And what I appreciated more than anything was your perspective of like, I knew this wasn't my forever man, and I was okay with letting it go. And I think that's a lesson that women probably need to hear. It is okay to let them go because you know that he is coming. The right man is coming, and
Hmm.
you may have to kiss a few
Hmm.
frogs to get to that right man. So, thank you for sharing.
Right.
I really appreciate you.
Aw,
And thank you all
thanks.
for tuning in. We will see you next week where we continue the series about dating. I got some stories to tell y'all. Peace.
All right. Bye, guys. Girl, this was everything. Let's pick this back up next Friday.
Bye, girl.